Welcome to Seven Rivers Sports. I'm your host, Terry Aries, and each week an inside look into sports, wellness, and into fitness. Well, this week the spotlight shines on Central High School softball. Now, back by popular demand, Coach Naimi George. How many days have you been on the show now?
Probably 6 or 7.
So, Coach Naimi George, one of our favorites, I think our viewers know that, along with two of his key players, senior Nicole Paulson and junior Macy Cagle. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you for
Thanks
having
very
us.
much.
As we tape the show here, May 26th, record of 7-6, but here is something that I discovered this morning in my research, that you are on the heels of a big win over Holman last night.
Yeah, a huge win for us. We were playing pretty good ball early in the season, then we hit a little bit of a skid the last couple of weeks, and we needed a big win for us, and that we got one last night. That was a huge victory. We have not beat Holman in a number of tries, probably a couple of years.
Actually, I've seen Holman play a couple times. Now, redemption. Here's why redemption is the word I choose. Because at the end of April, Holman 11, Central 1.
11-1, 10 run, 5 innings.
Yeah.
It was a rough day. We met as a team afterwards and talked about it, and Holman has a great team. They got great players. But we knew that if we could control what we could control, if we could play good defense, and if we could get good at bats, that we felt like we could compete with them. And last night the girls went to the field, played good, great defense, not even good defense, great defense. They got good at bats, and we were able to come away with a victory.
Redemption. Did I choose the right word, Nicole?
I think so. Honestly, when we started playing them that first game, we didn't play at our best. So I think yesterday was a good chance for us to get another go at them and really show them what we have.
Not only that, Macy Cagle, but you had lost 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Coming into that game, you lost to Toma, Eau Claire Memorial, in a doubleheader. So it was, I think it was predetermined that you needed to have a win, and Holman happened to be the team that probably went home with tears in their eyes.
We were needing that. Like Nami said, we were needing a win, and we were struggling as a team, but I thought that together we came back and really played as a whole team, which was good to get that win.
Naimi George, one of our favorites, no question about it. Used to be here on for basketball, head coach at Central, used to be Red Raiders, now the Riverhawks. Just a fast story, I'm working a basketball game at Eau Claire North this past winter, and I see Eau Claire North Huskies, and I say Riverhawks, and it was like, well, who's a Riverhawk? They had just changed the name that week. So I see at Eau Claire North, I see this logo and name up there. It's like, I couldn't believe it. I think I even asked you.
Yeah, I remember that
prior
game.
to the game, like, did they have this wrong or what? Because Red Raiders, I grew up playing against Central, of course, and many of our viewers too. Any thoughts on that change? Were some people upset about that, Coach?
Yeah, there was definitely some people that were upset. You know, some of the traditionalists who, and I'm one of them. I graduated in '96. We were the Red Raiders, and when you graduate from a high school, a lot of times that becomes a part of who you are, and Central has a lot of pride. People that graduate from Central have a lot of pride, and so there was some people upset, but I think Mr. McDonald did it the right way. Mr. McDonald said, there's nothing wrong with being a Red Raider. You were a Red Raider. You still are a Red Raider. This is for moving forward, and we're in a different time now, and we realize that Red Raider isn't the most appropriate nickname, and so it's awesome that I graduated in '96 and I can be a Red Raider, and I'll forever be a Red Raider, but now we have a different name, and now these kids that are playing now, we're the Riverhawks, and we're starting our own traditions, and honestly, some of the older generation might be upset about it. The kids are buying into the Riverhawk thing, and I wore my shirt for you today, Terry, so you won't forget to call us Riverhawks. I did that for you.
I've broadcast a few times, and I've said the Red Raiders, like, oh,
Yeah.
I got to correct. But a real quick reaction to that is, I grew up as an athlete at UWL. I was an Indian.
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So when the name was changed from Indians to Eagles, well, there's a lot of people like not very happy about that. So just stay an Indian then,
Yep.
like
Sure.
I was,
Yep.
and move forward. Well, so thoughts on the season? You're 7-6, and I know it's not, the tradition, the culture. A lot of our viewers know this of Central softball under Kevin Colburn and so on. I mean, you think of area teams that have a culture of winning, Central.
For sure. Yep, and we've gone a couple of years now where we've been below where we want to be, our expectations for winning, but I think we're building towards something. And so we had to rebuild a little bit once Coach Coburn left. We had to have the girls get used to my coaching style. We had to change to fit my coaching style a little bit, and there was some growing pains with that. And I think it's a process. It's not something that just happens in a year. We're building towards it, and even this season here, we're building towards our postseason play. And so we're trying to take lessons even from our losses. You know, you mentioned those 2 Eau Claire Memorial losses this weekend. Those weren't just losses; those were bad losses. We played very, very poorly. I give Memorial credit; they hit the ball and they played defense. And they did what they needed to do to win. But we played very, very poorly. I think we had 6 errors in each game.
Yeah.
And so when we got back together on Monday, we had a little team meeting and we just talked about what are we going to do moving forward. Obviously, there's nothing we can do about Saturday now. What are we going to do moving forward? And I think that's kind of what our whole program and our whole season is about, is building towards getting better every day and forgetting about our past failures or past successes, worrying about what's happening tomorrow. What are we going to do the next day and moving forward?
We talked about the Riverhawks currently 7-6, and Nicole, of course, as a senior, you're a leader and you're a veteran. You're looked up to by a lot of people. Knowing you a little bit, you're hard on yourself. You want the best. What's your thought on how the season has gone for you?
Honestly, I didn't know what I was walking into this season. Seeing the past few years, I haven't been able to play. So being a part of a team after this long break that we've had, I was just a little unsure of what would happen. And so far, it's been above my expectations. Like, even our losses, I think we've been able to build off of. And just being a part of this team, I'm glad it's this season that I get to have with them.
So you haven't been able to play ACL, MCL, meniscus. You've gone through a lot.
Yeah, my sophomore year I tore my ACL, meniscus, and my MCL skiing. And so I missed my sophomore year, and right when I was ready to come for my junior year, we got put in quarantine. So I missed 2 years of softball for Central. So
Talk about setbacks. Like, a lot of people self-destruct after setbacks and maybe just give up. Not you.
No, I was able to play throughout the summer then after my junior year was over, and come back this year after we were able to play some fall ball and scrimmages before our season started.
Coach George talked about coaching styles. You've played for a lot of different coaches in multiple sports, Macy a junior. And describe the kind of coaching style that motivates, inspires you.
I would say just being patient, and I think Nami does a really good job with that. He understands that he has faults too, and he learns from them, and he tries to do better for us, which is a really good thing for coaches to have. Not only trying to work on just us, he's always trying to work on himself, it's really appreciated by the teammates too.
Boy, is that ever well said. I hope our viewers really listened intently to that, because not a lot of athletes would say that about their coach. Not a lot of coaches would admit that. But unlike maybe years ago when it was more autocratic and you do it my way or the highway and dictatorial and so on, and I grew up playing under those coaches, and early in my career I was sort of that way. Now it's relationship building. Just watching you before we started taping the show, and your interaction with your athletes, it's refreshing to see, because you get along well with them, and you draw that proverbial line in the sand about being friends, because that's not where you go. But you seem to inspire kids by really developing good relationships.
Yeah, I had, Terry, kind of like you talked about how early in your career you coached a certain way, and as you got older you started to realize better ways to do things. I kind of chuckled when Macy said that, because I can imagine athletes that I had when I first started coaching watching and saying, Nami admitted he had a fault, because that I was more autocratic in the beginning of my career, and you probably remember some of the basketball days when you were officiating for us, and that's what I did. I hollered and screamed and tried to demand respect and stuff like that, command respect. And what I've realized over the years is I get a lot more out of my athletes if we can have a good working relationship, and if we all realize that we're in this together, that we're fighting. It's not me versus you, it's us versus everybody else. And so that's something that as Macy said, something that I've worked a lot on over the last probably 5 years, is trying to develop those relationships and make the kids realize that we're in this together. In fact, up in Eau Claire, 90 degrees, we're playing poorly, and we had an incident where one of the girls came off the field, and I went to pat her on the back and say, you can get him next time, and she kind of turned her shoulder like, don't touch me. And we addressed that on Monday, and I said, listen, I'm not against you, I'm with you. I want you to play well. I'm patting you on the back to give you encouragement. And so we are constantly, I think, it's not just me who's trying to change behavior and trying to make it work. It's the girls, too, who recognize when they make a mistake and own up to it. It's about accountability, really, is what it's about.
So you're saying to your athletes, like, hey, I'm not your enemy.
Right. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Your enemy may be somebody with the other colored uniform. But before we go to break, you've played under a lot of coaches, too. Mo. By the way, Nicole, but she likes to be called Mo.
Yep.
So what kind of, like, someday you'll have children and they'll be, you'll have 6 or 8 kids probably, and they'll all be playing sports. What kind of a coach do you want them to play for?
I want them to have a coach that's able to like accommodate to what they need, because every player is different. And so if you're the kind of player that needs to be screamed at, I want a coach that's going to scream at my kids to tell them to be better. But if I have a player that's like a little hard on themselves, I want the coach to be able to recognize that and just accommodate to their needs like they should.
So just to clarify that, you want what I always wanted for my children and my grandchildren. You want a coach that challenges. You want a teacher that challenges you to get to a level that you didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, I want the coach to be able to see their potential and help them reach it.
There you go. All right. With that, time for a quick break. We're going to step aside just for a minute. When we come back more here on Seven Rivers.
With our busy lives, it's a comfort to know that we can still remember loved ones in a traditional way with a monument. Lewiston Monuments in Lewiston, Minnesota has been helping families purchase a monument for over 4 generations. You'll find a large selection of beautiful granite, marble, and bronze monuments, all at competitive prices. And they're a full-service company, so they also do straightening, cleaning, and repair of monuments. Stop in or call for a no-obligation consultation, or visit lewistonmonument.com for more information.
You know, the thing I'm most proud of when I think about our company is the reputation that we've been able to build in this community. Our technicians have done a great job going out and performing magnificent jobs for the customer. And our customers have rewarded us with some really great reviews online.
We have over 150 5-star reviews online right now. Our technicians do a great job out there, and our reviews show it.
We can say without hesitation, when you choose Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, you'll be glad you did.
Nicole Paulson, Mo, and Macy Cagle. Well, Mo, volleyball, softball, powerlifting.
Yep.
Favorites?
Sports. My favorite sport?
Favorite on all of them?
I'd say volleyball, probably.
Good.
Yeah, I just
You should say softball when you got the coach there.
Yeah, what's up with that? Yeah.
I mean, they're pretty tied, I would say. Yeah, I just really like both of them. They're different sports, so it's a different kind of playing for each of them, but I just like to be competitive in both.
You seem to have taken your senior year and your entire career to the utmost, meaning athlete of the month, letter winner, all academic, student of the month nominee. So it's not just sports. You feel good, I assume, about what you've accomplished.
Yeah, I am. Looking back on the past 4 years, I'm pretty proud of what I was able to accomplish throughout all of it.
And you're a leader because National Honor Society Public Relations Officer. That's a pretty
Yeah.
lofty term.
Yeah, it's fun. I like being a part of it, and I like being an officer where I'm able to lead my peers.
What
in
kind of
this-
leadership style do you have?
One that's guiding almost. I don't like to tell people what to do. I kind of just like to put the ideas out there for them and let them come to it and like work with it and not just give them what I think they should have.
You also said in your profile that, and I thought this caught my eye, your leadership is focusing on the needs of your peers.
Yeah, well, I don't want to be a kind of person to tell someone what they need. I want to listen to what they need from me and give them that instead of just kind of shoving it down their throat what I think they should do.
Are you a good listener?
I think so. I would like to think so.
Good, because I wrote an article a couple years ago now on the art of listening, which was published in the Tribune, and ever since I wrote it, I think I'm a better listener too. But Macy, a junior, we don't have too many juniors on the show. So you're
Yeah.
pretty lucky.
Thank you.
Two-sport athlete, softball, and basketball, and of course, our viewers don't know this, but the Cagle, we're close to the Cagle family,
Yeah.
as our family, because your dad, your brothers, your uncles all grew up in the club, and so
Yeah.
I know your grandfather real well. And you indicated in terms of your leadership style, a little bit different than Mo's, meaning that if you notice others don't speak up, you sort of speak up for them.
Yeah, sometimes it'll happen in softball too where some of the underclassmen will I think they maybe don't feel comfortable, so maybe if they see someone doing it first or saying things first, then they follow lead. And I think that's good to have because when I was a freshman, there were a lot louder girls that were there before me, like Beth Myers. She was a really outgoing person, which I really looked up to her for that. So I just like to be there for the younger girls who maybe don't know what's happening yet in the program.
Leaders also kind of anticipate drama, because there's drama in every sport, in every social setting. Actually, there's drama.
Yeah.
So you, as a senior, you see drama unfolding, for example, right? How do you deal with that?
I guess if I ever see the kind of drama in the team, I just like to be the kind of person to make them see a different point of view, where if they think negatively of someone, I want them to see the other side of it on how they can look at things and just kind of unfold it so that there's no tension between anyone and just to keep the peace almost.
Keep the peace in the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, Nami, you know how much respect I have for you and your style of coaching and so on, and you've evolved like all of us have. Significant lessons. Authors talk about like coaches being difference makers in the lives of young people and teaching life lessons. How do you do that?
Well, I think relationship building is probably the most important, and making sure the girls understand that you're there for them and that you care about them, and you care about them more than just as an athlete and just as somebody that can help you win games, but you care about them as a person. And so one of the really cool things, this is something that really meant a lot to me, was there was a basketball player that graduated in 2005 or 2006 who just invited me to her wedding down in Milwaukee 2 weekends ago, so I got to go down, and it was a very small wedding, so I was really honored to be one of those guests at her wedding. And so I think what that told me was my impact on her. She obviously is not playing professional basketball, so my impact on her was not in a basketball sense or in an athletic sense, but my impact was deeper than that. It was more somebody that she knew was there for her and somebody that cares about her. And that's what I try to instill with the athletes that I have now is I want you to play well and I want us to win, obviously, and all that kind of stuff, but also understand that you mentioned a little bit, but we're a family, and we have each other's backs, and when drama starts, sometimes we have to, keep the peace within the family, like Mo talked about, or that kind of stuff. But the family atmosphere is something that I've really tried to focus on probably in the last 10 years or so.
Yeah, and it shows in the culture. Just in talking to your athletes here this week, but Nicole graduating, you're going on to Oshkosh, you're going to own your own business, you're going to be Entrepreneur of the Year.
Yeah, that's kind of the hope. Right now it's still kind of blurry seeing what's forward for me, but recently I've just been really thinking about it, and I think that where I'm headed is pretty good for Oshkosh, where I just...
Blurry and scary in itself?
Oh yeah, definitely. Just going to a different city where I'm not going to know many people is kind of always going to be a little intimidating to me. But I'm one of those people, I kind of just want to step out of the box because I don't want to just stay comfortable.
You want to stretch yourself.
Yeah.
You want to go to areas unknown. You want to expand and so on. A rapid fire drill, as we kind of try to get to as many things on your profiles as possible. You know what a rapid fire drill is?
Yeah.
Inspiring people, people that have inspired you. We've all had people. Who has inspired you?
Really, my parents are my biggest role models that I look up to. They've always taught me like everything I know on sports and being a good person.
And your volleyball coach.
Yes. My sophomore volleyball coaches, Maddie Keene and Katie Hansen, they were amazing. They taught me more than just the game.
We've all had defining moments in your career, in your education and in your sports.
Yeah, I don't remember what I put.
You put down while playing softball for that elite team?
Oh, yes. I was at a softball camp, and a coach had saw me playing, and he asked me to try out for his team, and it was one of these elite teams up in the Madison area, which I just felt it meant a lot to me just to see that I could play a more higher level than I thought I could.
Well, highly inspiring, and then maybe not as inspiring, but defining was tearing your ACL.
Yeah, that really put a damper on my athletic career halfway through high school. It kind of it was a break for me to like step back and see just like sports mean a lot to me, but there are other things I need to start focusing on. And when I realized that, I was able to care a lot more about the sports that I was in and just really realize how temporary it is.
Good way to put it. It's not temporary for Macy because she's only a junior.
Yeah.
You got one more year to prove yourself as a Riverhawk.
Yeah.
So, but you indicated in your profile that your sister is one person that inspired you.
Yeah, she's been a really big role model in my life, and I got to play with her my freshman year, which was really nice, but then I didn't get to play with her last year, which was pretty hard because I thought it would have been a pretty good season with her. She's always kind of pushed me to do my best, and it may have been in ways that I thought were like mean, but she always has like the best for me and always looks out for me.
Good. It wasn't me.
No, just being there.
It was challenging you. But
yeah, she definitely does that.
Mo's going to own a business, and then you're going to go to TC and get your degree, and then do something, and then maybe you'll work for her. She'll probably own she may own like a veterinary clinic, and then you'll be a tech vet.
There you go.
Yeah.
How's that?
Absolutely.
That work?
Yeah, that sounds good.
It's good
So-
partnership.
You both of you indicated your favorite and your toughest opponents, Logan, Holman. I mean, and is that how you feel? Well, you played them last night as we taped the show here on the 26th, and that seems to challenge both of you playing the Vikings.
It's a really good feeling to go against Holman and come out with a win that you earned, because they are a tough opponent. You know, you can't slack off when you play against them. So to know that we went out there and really gave it everything and won, it was a big moment for us, I think.
What's something people don't know about you as we sort of close this week's interview?
Okay, so when I was younger, I had a big fear of TV satellites because when I was younger, my sister told me that they could hop around like the Pixar lamp.
They can, can't they?
Trust me, they might. And I was just terrified of them for a couple years when I was little.
Yeah, well, a lot of people feel that way. Even some adults feel
Yep,
that
not
way.
sure many people know that about
Everything
me.
is temporary. That's what you think.
I do think that, because it is. I mean, my sports season is temporary. You're only in school for how long? Not many things in your life really stay permanent.
Exactly. So, and what people don't know about this Macy Cagle is that you tried another sport when you were young.
Yeah, I played hockey. My dad really wanted me to stick with it too.
You wanted to toughen you up a little bit?
Yeah,
What?
I think he really wanted me to.
How'd the
be a
boys
hockey
feel when
player.
you were better than them?
It was really funny. I was in that environment when I was pretty much the only girl, but it was fun. It was a fun time, but I quit that to start playing basketball. And
Grow through what you go through.
yeah, it's kind of a tongue twister, but I really.
I got it, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You got it spot on. I like that because I think there's obviously challenges in life that you'll go through, but if you don't learn from them and if they don't make you a better person, then you'll just dig yourself in a deeper hole.
You grew today
Yeah.
by just being on this show.
Yeah, I
Developing
did.
confidence and being able to be in front of millions of people
Yeah,
watching
it was
the
a good
show.
opportunity.
So as we look to the rest of the season real quickly, and as we close, you have 5 games left, and then the postseason. And I don't think we have like 20 seconds. I don't think many people even know anything about the postseason because it was questionable early on.
Yeah, so our season goes all the way through the end of June this year, which is something that's different. We're usually wrapping up our season right around now. The playoffs start the week of June 12th, something like that. I think we play on that Monday. And so we'll see. We play, once that second week of June hits, we play until we lose. And I've been telling the girls all along is if we play our game, if we play good defense and we get good at bats, we can play with anybody. We really believe that. So if we go to state, I'm hoping you'll have us back for a little state celebration.
Well, then we'll come down and broadcast.
There you go.
the
There
game
you
at
go.
State. We're a state, by the way, so I can get my class.
I think it's in Green Bay this year.
Oh,
Yeah,
I like Green
yeah,
Bay.
yeah.
All right, well, listen, our guest this week, Coach Nami George from La Crosse Central, along with Macy Cagle, and, well, let's not forget our senior right here,
Right.
Bo Paulson. So, thanks for being on the show, guys. It's been a pleasure. And good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, Terry.
All right.
Really appreciate it.
We'll be back with some closing thoughts right after this.
You know, the thing I'm most proud of when I think about our company is the reputation that we've been able to build in this community. Our technicians have done a great job going out and performing magnificent jobs for the customer. And our customers have rewarded us with some really great reviews online.
We have over 150 5-star reviews online right now. Our technicians do a great job out there, and our reviews show it.
We can say without hesitation, when you choose Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, you'll be glad you did.
When you're faced with the decision of selecting a monument to honor someone dear to you, call Lewiston Monuments for a no-obligation consultation. Lewiston Monument is a full-service monument company, serving families in Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin for over 4 generations. You'll find beautiful granite, marble, and bronze memorials, all at competitive prices. Their experts can help you design the perfect and unique memorial. Lewiston Monument. Call today or on the web at lewistonmonument.com.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. While our crew was in Onalaska on Tuesday night for high school baseball. Luther Knights hosting the Cashton Eagles. 2 home runs by Hunter Caston and Nehemiah Paprin in the bottom of the 5th gave the Knights a 6-4 lead. However, Cashton answered with 1 run in the 6th and exploded for 6 more runs in the 7th to take the lead. Preston Brigham and Connor Butzler had 2 hits each for Cashton, now 8-4 on the year. Nehemiah Paprin had 2 RBIs, leading the Knights, which have lost 8 games in a row. Cashton hosts Brookwood on Thursday in a regional game at 5 p.m., while the Luther Knights are at Westby also on Thursday for their opening postseason game at 5 p.m. Final from Onalaska, Cashton 11 and the Luther Knights 7. Well, that does it this week here on 7 Rivers Sports. Hope you have an active and a healthy week ahead.